sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
It's not gonna happen, and Daniel McMillan,
Pennsylvania native, kept here winning here at Pocono.
Third win of the season, and win the championship.
Ryan Benjamin with the last lap pass.
And he is going to score the victory in the Minute Maid 300.
Salmon Oskin, third win of the season.
He's gonna get it and only leads 3 laps today.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 29, the penultimate race in Season 9 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the World Center of Racing, the Daytona International Speedway. It's the Valvoline 400, the traditional second race at Daytona. But this year, it means so much more as we lead into the finale next weekend at Darlington. We could see a champion be clinched here tonight as Nathan Baird comes in with a 41-point lead on Shane Lake. But that's Shane Lake in second, and we've seen what he's been able to do the past couple of weeks. He won at Watkins Glen on a last corner pass and then finished second last week at Gateway. And I'm joined alongside Luke Rennie. Great to have Luke on the first time this season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And Shane Lake, he has been on fire the past couple of races. Does that momentum continue on here tonight? And does he have a shot at the championship next weekend at Darlington?
I think he will have a chance to win a championship. I know I said during the qualifying, actually, that I was leaning towards Nathan Baird, but ultimately, given the momentum Shane Lake has had, this is obviously a racetrack that's not going to help a driver that's looking to continue momentum. It's Daytona. Anything can happen. Anyone can win at this place. So with that said, I do think he is going to get a good finish today. I mean, 4 wins on the season, that shows a lot about the way that he has performed so far. But I don't know if he's going to try and close in on that deficit at all, but he should be good for himself, just a matter of what Nathan Baird is going to do in that 16 car.
We're just going to have to see how it all plays out. Nathan Baird starts in the 14th position, while Shane Lake starts in 30th. It's only a 32-lap race, but it is at a super speedway, and while a lot of these guys up front might stay up front in this race, we might see some guys who do start in the back of the field move their way through the field by the end of the event, but it's only 32 laps. This race has actually gone 95% of the way green until the end twice. I think it was season number 5, this race went 23 laps, and then the caution came out, and the next season it went 31 laps, and then the caution came out. And who knows, we could see a caution-free race here tonight. We never know what to expect at Daytona, especially with the Valvoline 400. The Valvoline 400 always plays out so much differently than the Daytona 500 because it's such a shorter race. Obviously, Daytona 500 was 50 laps this year. This is only 32 laps, so not near as much time for these guys to make it to the front of the field, but it's still just as critical as the Daytona 500, more critical towards the championship, and still a very big race to win here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Of course, we mentioned Nathan Baird, the points leader, 2,246 points towards the championship for him. Shane Lake is 41 points behind, and other guys, if Nathan Baird wrecks out of this race, are going to have another shot at winning this championship. Alexander Rowe, 51 points behind, Silas Orta, 53 points behind, and Ryan Durrani, 55 points behind, are 3 guys to watch out for if Baird wrecks out. Those guys could definitely pull within a race of points on Nathan Baird heading into Darlington next weekend, and they could have a shot at this Chick-fil-A Cup Series championship. Other guys who still have a mathematical shot are going to need a lot to happen. Salmon Oskin, 70 points behind, Jesse Turner, 73 points behind, Mark Davidson and Herschel Larvin Alonso above 79 points behind, Fisher T 87 points behind, and mathematically eliminated from the championship is Reagan Whitlock in the number 92. Hasn't been the best of chase for the full frontal motorsports driver there, but the other full frontal car, Ryan Durrani's been doing pretty good, and we'll have to see if he can move his way into championship contention next week at Darlington. Grab the fastest time in qualifying yesterday with Matt Dalio in the Valvoline machine, starting alongside him in the number 75. Round number 2, you got Brad Stover and Samit Oskin. Of course, Samit Oskin still with an opportunity at winning this championship, but it's going to need a lot to happen here tonight if that is going to be the case. Same goes for Fisher G and Mark Davidson there, starting alongside each other in row number 3. We got Patrick Smith in the number 30 alongside Brett Zera in the 04. Ergel Larvin Alonso in the 28 machine alongside Tristan Allen in the 06. Top 10 starting positions go through the field. There's Nathan Baird, our points leader, starting in the 14th position. Right behind him, Jesse Turner is one of those guys like Fisher G and Mark Davidson need a lot to happen in this race to have a shot at the championship. There's Alexander Rowe in the 25 coming in 51 points behind. Shane Lake 41 points behind. Needs a lot to happen in this race if he's going to be able to surpass Nathan Baird, but the opportunity is still there for him. Then they got Silas Orta there and Ryan Durrani back in the field there. But it is a super speedway. It's going to take a lot for these guys to move their way to the back to the front, but they will be able to do it if they get on an inside lane. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they pull it off. But either way, it's the penultimate race of the season. A lot of guys in this field looking to get that one last win in the season. Who do you think is going to win here in the Valvoline 400 at Daytona?
You mentioned one last win in the season. How about one last win in the career for the Ford of Trey Bartow, starting in the 31st position? How great of a story would that be if he is able to win this race that far back in the penultimate start of his career in Chick-fil-A Cup Series? And it's been a great career at that. I think he can pull it off.
We'll just have to see. Like I mentioned, Titan Fury Motorsports have not had a good season this year. We'll have to see if they can pull one off. They might pull one off with Brad Stover there starting in the 3rd position. Will Nathan Baird pull off the championship here tonight? If he leaves 48 points behind, or should I say 48 points ahead or more, he'll be your champion. It's going to be interesting. It's the penultimate race of the season. It's the Valvoline 400 at Daytona, and we're green flag racing here in the penultimate race of Season 9 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Lap 1 will be led by Ace Garcia from the pole position here at Daytona, but Matt Delio on the outside lane with help from Sam Adowskin is trying to hold strong from that inside lane. We're going to see this outside lane work very well here tonight, especially if we get a fast car up front. Some of these cars are set up a little bit better than others here tonight, so that'll definitely play into who gets the race victory later on. But Matt Delio trying to hold on the outside lane here. A lot of shuffling going on in the back of the field right here. Zachary Fitzwater going for 2 in a row to the inside of Alonso and Tristan Allen, but it's still side by side for the race lead here on lap number 2.
It just looks like it's a push.
Oh, already 4 wide of the round. Zachary Fitzwater in the wall. Nathan Baird caught up in the 16. Hard impact for the 16 machine. Turner's around. Dale Lightning as well. Majority of the field will avoid contact, but Nathan Baird right at the start of the race with heavy contact, and that is going to most likely take him out of the event, and that is going to shake up this entire championship battle here at Daytona. Right at the start of the race on lap number 2, they got 4 wide off the corner and spun around, and Nathan Baird had nowhere to go when Zachary Fitzwater came up through the field. Unbelievable. We talked about unpredictability coming into this race, and that is exactly what happened right there to the number 16 of Nathan Baird. And Baird is going to most likely be out of the race. That's too much front-end damage for him to continue. I mentioned last year at Talladega, the other super speedway late on in the season, he wrecked out of that one. And I don't see that number 16 continuing on. I mean, he's not going to get a good run either way. And that's going to open the door for Shane Lake in the 15. For Silas Orta, for Alexander Rowe, for Ryan Durrani. They're going to have a huge opportunity at being right within championship contention next weekend at Darlington.
I mean, all these cars that are pitting right now, we don't have any pit strategy in this race, so they were all involved in this wreck. That just gives you an idea of how big this was. This is crazy for the championship, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Nathan Baird is going to be one of those guys coming down. And he actually, it almost appears like he got the worst damage from this one. Chase Harrison, the 40 with a lot of damage. Zachary Fitzwater was involved as well. Dale Lightning in the 38 machine with heavy contact. But I do believe that he should be able to continue. A lot of guys, Brett Sierra, Zachary Fitzwater, Rick Haslam, Diego Yepez, and Baird's going to try to stay out there. I mean, he's got to try to salvage something. Maybe Shane Lake gets involved in an accident and he is able to finish ahead of him, but there's no way that the number 16 of Nathan Baird is going to be able to finish top 30 in this race, only unless another huge wreck happens and he is able to stay out there. He's not going to be able to keep up with the field with that thing, though. No doubt about it. But he's going to try to stay out there. Early wreck here in the Valvoline 400. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the caution. The first time already here at Daytona. Big wreck off of turn number 4 as always. 4 wide situation with Zachary Fitzwater getting sent around into Nathan Baird. Very interesting situation off of turn number 4 right here. You're going to see Andrew Miller in the 24. It's Gatlin Downey moves up in the 22 machine into Diego Yepez. And that shoots Yepez down into his teammate Zachary Fitzwater, and nowhere to go for Nathan Baird in the number 16. And this is going to be interesting because he did stay out there on the racetrack. I highly doubt he's going to be able to keep up, but if we do end up with another big wreck in this race, he could be able to clinch this championship if Shane Lake happens to be involved. Daniel McMillan, Jesse Turner, Mitchell Henderson got a piece of it right there. Trey Bartow in the 4. I think he avoided it right there. Gatlin Downey spun off. I don't think Downey got any damage, so he should be able to continue as well. And realistically, the guy who got the worst of this was Nathan Baird in the number 16, who's unfortunately going to have a tough time holding on to that really big points gap that he came in. 41 points coming into this race. I don't think it's going to be quite as large heading into Darlington next weekend.
Just heading out turn number 4, and you see that Downey just pushes up, leaves that 4 wide hole, and they all get together, and it's on from there. And Fitzwater getting the back end torn up, and definitely the big story in that one was Nathan Baird. But a lot of these guys did a nice job of staying committed to the outside or the inside just to get around that wreck, and the caution comes out.
Wasn't the biggest wreck we've ever seen at Daytona, but in terms of points, and I think this is something a lot of people were thinking about coming into this race. You know, what if Nathan Baird gets caught up in a big accident? Well, there he goes. Caught up in the big accident on the second lap of the race as the points leader. Daytona. It's just one of those places. We'll have to see how it all goes down. Ace Garcia from the pole position able to hold on. You can see Iquan Haslam there with some damage as well. We'll have to see what Ace Garcia does. Matt Dalio, Brad Stover, Sam Manowskin, Fisher G. All those guys looking for another win this season. Ace Garcia looking for his first win in over 2 years. We'll have to see if he gets it. Restart here in the Valvoline 400 right now from Daytona. And we are back here at the Daytona International Speedway. Valvoline 400 action. Already a huge moment in this race. Points leader Nathan Baird coming in. 41 points and getting caught up in the accident. He is still out there, but quite obviously, he is not going to be running too fast. And I don't even know how long he would be able to stay out there in the number 16. Obviously, we saw the guys who got involved, but all but one going to still be out there on the racetrack. Brett Sierra in the 04. Looks like his day is going to end prematurely. Ace Garcia, still the race leader from the pole position. Matt Dalio, Brad Stover, Samit Ozkin. With Nathan Baird getting caught up in an accident and Sam Ozkin here in the top 5, that's going to open the door for Ozkin to possibly have a shot heading into Darlington next weekend. And then Fisher G there, rounding out the top 5 with Davidson, Patrick Smith, here's Jalvin Alonso, Tristan Allen, and Andrew Miller. The top 10, lap 7 of 32 here in the Valvoline 400. Pace car is down. We're back to racing here in the penultimate race of the season at Daytona.
Oh, not a great start out of that 75 right there. Really didn't get going, Matt Dalio, and he might get eaten up, but I think the thing's going to protect him, so there's a battle for third now with Sam Ozkin down to the inside of Stover, so he should be able to hang on a second. He's also getting a run back to the 81 of Garcia here in the 1.
I have to see here. That number 75 might have been a good idea from the back off right there. He's got another Toyota right behind him, but you got to remember, Ace Garcia and Sam Ozkin are teammates, but Dalio doesn't care. He's going to move to the inside, look for the race lead. Got Patrick Smith and Tristan Allen on the inside lane in the back of the field. And Cody Sill in the 37. I'm not entirely sure if he was caught up in the accident or not, but we see a big gap between a lot of these guys in the field. Very spread out right now, but they will close back into one large pack here in a few laps. Side by side for the race lead. After stripe for lap 7, it's Ace Garcia in the number 81 continuing to lead this race. Here comes Mark Davidson, though, looking to the inside of Matt Dalio and Ace Garcia, and he's got the run with Patrick Smith and Tristan Allen behind him, and he's going to take it away from the 75 and clear those guys on the outside lane.
Man, that was incredible. What a run on the inside line without any real help behind him. Well, the 75 and the 81 were too busy side drafting, so he just pulled ahead to the lead and cleared.
And meanwhile, off the pace by a lot, Nathan Baird currently running in the 40th position. Not all what he wants. Of course, the last winner, Zachary Fitzwater and Chase Harris were caught up in that one. We saw Dale Lightning as well. And a few other guys kind of striking along, including Silas Orta. Now, this could take Silas Orta out of championship contention if he falls back enough in this race. He's currently 33rd, but if he can rejoin this pack in front of him, he might still be able to get up to the front and have a shot. Alexander Rowe doing a great job. Right now, Rowe is in the position to have a shot at the championship, and so is Shane Lake, as they're both far enough ahead to gain within a race amount of points heading into Darlington. How about these guys? Trey Bartos are really deep in the field, and already on lap number 9, he's inside the top 10, looking for the top 5, and guess who he's pushing? Tristan Allen, who, dare I say it again, been saying it for 5 years, has never won before in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He's only got one top 10 this year. That was back at Dover. We'll have to see if he could pull it off here tonight. He's got a strong run to the inside of Dalio and Ace Garcia. Will he have anything for Mark Davidson here? Mark Davidson is going to possibly put himself in championship contention heading into Darlington if he can get this race victory. But still, a long ways left to go here in this Valvoline 400. But how about this 06 of Tristan Allen looking to the inside for the race lead on lap 10?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't bite your tongue with Tristan Allen. I'm going to keep my tongue bit about him. But Trey Bartow, there it is. 31st to 1st. He is now up here at the front of this pack.
And looking for the race lead as well as Tristan Allen leads lap number 10. Wyatt Quayle here in the number 39. And it looks to me like Silas Orta was able to join this pack, albeit stuck in the outside lane. Same goes for Ryan Durrani. So those three guys, Alexander Rowe, Silas Orta, and Ryan Durrani, were guys we were watching for coming into this race who could surpass Nathan Baird in the point, or should I say, could be within a race of points heading into Darlington next weekend if Baird were to get wrecked out. Now, Baird's still going to be a huge factor in this race as Bartow falls behind Allen and Wyatt Quayle moves his way to the inside. Look not too far up ahead. This number 16 is very slow, and I get why he's still out there. You know, you gotta salvage what you can. If you can still run the car, you can still get those points and still possibly clinch the championship. However, he is going to really be a factor once this large pack comes up to him. It's going to split the field up, and we're going to end up with this chess match style of racing that we traditionally see here at Daytona. It's going to get very interesting. Allen doing a good job right now. This 06 looks very strong here tonight. Will tonight finally be the night for Tristan Allen in the 06? Joshua Rush, how about this uncharted driver here for NS Racing? And of course, Nathan Stablin's another guy who's going to be retiring from the Chick-fil-A Cup Series at the end of the season to expand NS Racing next year. And who knows, we could see someone like Joshua Rush in this ride full-time in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series season number 10. That outside lane is really strong. I got to tell you, Trey Bartow, Tristan Allen, a couple of guys who are really hungry for a race victory, and same with Mark Davidson, who is still in contention for this championship and can get a possible win here tonight.
I don't know if you saw that down the front stretch between Ace Garcia and Matt Dalia, but I think they almost banged doors as they were entering the tri-oval. That was something else. I've never really seen anything quite like it. But like you said, that outside line's got a lot of energy, and despite the fact that they're starting to spread out a little bit.
Oh, someone's blowing up! Someone in the middle of the pack's blowing up. Patrick Smith in the 30. Patrick Smith has blown an engine in the middle of the pack. He's going to cut down to the apron, but that's going to split the pack up. Patrick Smith trying to control his car as he tries to slow that thing down. No caution yet, but Patrick Smith going to be done for the night right there, right in the middle of the pack here on lap 14. And someone else is blowing up. That's Ryan Durrani in the 68, a championship competitor. So two engines within one corner blowing up here at Daytona, and now Ryan Durrani is going to be done for the night here in the Valvoline 400. Unbelievable. That is going to take Durrani out of championship contention, and his shots at the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Championship are going to end right there. And here we go, Nathan Baird closing in on the field here. That's going to split the pack up a little bit, and we have ourselves, I believe, 8 guys who have pulled out, 7 guys who have pulled out to the race lead, and guess who one of those guys is? Shane Lake in the number 15, looking to get his 5th win of the season. We're just going to have to see. He's going to really close in on Nathan Baird in the point standings. I think Nathan Baird We'll have to see. I think if only unless Shane Lake wins, Nathan Baird will still be the points leader heading into Darlington. But obviously going a lap down now in the number 16 machine, and all these guys getting held up behind the 16 machine. They're not going to be happy with Nathan Baird. I mean, obviously he's fighting for a championship. He's got to salvage those points, and he did gain a couple of points right there when Patrick Smith and Ryan Durrani blew up. But these guys are really affected by the number 16 machine, who currently still runs in 40th. Patrick Smith is going to fall behind him, though. And obviously you see Ryan Durrani there going to fall to the back of the field. That will take Durrani out of championship contention. Meanwhile, back up front, Tristan Allen, Trey Bartow battling for the race lead. Mark Davidson, Gatlin Downey, Wyatt Quayle, Shane Lake, and Ace Garcia in this pack. And they're actually pulling away from this second pack, where you have Joshua Rush and Keegan Thompson leading the field here. Now, Alexander Rose, a guy who is going to close in and be within a race of points of Nathan Baird if things run the way they are. However, he's not in that lead pack, and he would love to give the race win here tonight. Of course, obviously won the Daytona 500 earlier in the season, but right now he's currently running in the, see here, 12th position. Not a bad place to be. He'll gain enough on Baird to still have a chance at the championship, but a win would really help him out in the points and the fight for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series championship. But my goodness, I haven't let you talk for a little bit there because so much went on there in those few laps right there. But Ryan Durrani out of the race now, and that's going to help out Nathan Baird just a little bit here in the championship.
Definitely will, but I'll tell you what, this lead pack is definitely, it includes some interesting characters. There, you got Shane Lake in the 15. Obviously, the championship battle could pretty much be gridlocked between himself and Nathan Baird by the end of this race if he's able to win it. Trey Bartow, I talked about him at the beginning of the race. If he could win today, what a story that would be. And then I'm not going to say the other one because he's still leading the race.
We'll just have to see how it all goes down. How about Gatlin Downing as well? Some other characters in this field. Gatlin Downey's a teammate to Ace Garcia there. And Gatlin Downey's in a battle for the best of the rest. He's 3 points ahead of Mitchell Henderson coming into this race. Well, looks like Downey may actually clinch that best of the rest championship. Be 13th in points at the end of the season. Wyatt Quayle has been a really bad season for him, but an opportunity, his second win of the season. And then Ace Garcia started on the pole for this race. It's Gatlin Downey gonna finesse his way to the inside of Tristan Allen for the race lead. We'll have to see if he can take it away from the 06. He might clear off the corner right here. A bold move there out of the 22 machine, looking to take this win away here. Lap 19 of 32. I want to check in on this pack. We could end up with another 4-wide situation if we're not careful. Sam at Oskin pushing the issue there on LJ Semedo. And there's your... that was close, but they're going to keep it together and down to 3 wide again. So no need to worry right there for the time being. Tristan Allen's not going to let Gatlin Downey have this race lead. He's going to go back to the inside. Lap 20 of 32. Here we go on Chase Harris and Zachary Fitzwater. Where do they go on the racetrack? Tristan Allen and Gatlin, and you got to be careful. They're going to split Harris. Oh, Harris is going to block Allen. And there it goes, Downey on the outside. But now Fitzwater going to move down, and Downey's going to be all by himself right here. Bartow, Wyatt Quayle, Ace Garcia get held up by the 40 machine, and everybody's going to get held up with the exception of Gatlin Downey. There goes Allen. He's going to lead these pack of cars on the inside lane past Zachary Fitzwater. So it's Tristan Allen, Mark Davidson, Shane Lake up to 4th. Shane Lake's going to be the way things are currently running because Nathan Baird currently resides in the 39th position. That's going to be a swing of 35 points. He'll have a 6-point deficit heading into Darlington. And look at what that did. That's going to bring in the second pack. So a lot of those guys in the second pack might have a shot at this race victory. But there goes Allen back to the inside. And look at who he's bringing along with him. Shane Lake in the number 15. If Lake can win this race, Lake's going to take the points lead heading into Darlington. And to the inside for the race lead on lap 21 of 32. Shane Lake's going to take it away from the 06.
Oh my goodness, Ace Garcia is just flying on an inside line. He might be able to get down to the inside of 15 on corner eggs. I'm not sure they're 3 wide. They might be selling each other out, but my goodness. And you mentioned that second pack. Well, it's only going to bring him in until we run into Nathan Baird a second time. That's going to be coming at one point or another.
And they actually also had to get around Chase Harris and Zachary Fitzwater as well. So this is going to bring in some new faces. But for Baird again. That's 16. I mean, no one's going to be happy with Nathan Baird at the end of this race. Not even Nathan Baird, of course. Nathan Baird's not going to be happy. Obviously getting involved in the accident. And you know, with Shane Lake leading now, we could be seeing Shane Lake take the points lead from 41 points behind in the penultimate race, heading into the finale at Darlington. Allen and Bartow have fallen off the lead pack right here. However, if they can form a line, they should be able to close back in. They might bring in Joshua Rush, LJ Semedo, and Sebastian Kukul on to help them out. Now these guys in the back stuck behind Fitzwater and Nathan Baird. They're going to fall behind. It's a mess out there, but how about Shane Lake? The past few races, obviously with the race victory at Watkins Glen, that was unbelievable. The race victory at Hillside was unbelievable. And then he finished second last week at Gateway. And now here he is with an opportunity at taking the points lead heading into the finale at Darlington. Absolutely unreal out of the Velocity Racing driver of Shane Lake.
This is incredible by the 15. If he can get 5 wins this season, I mean, we already talked about the craziness of the feat in itself of winning 4 races, but 5, I mean, that you're talking about completely uncharted territory that I don't think we're going to see replicated for a very long time. But more lap traffic, this one's Dale Lightning.
Yeah, Dale Lightning is going faster than Nathan Baird, so hopefully it'll be a little bit easier for these guys to split them. Shane Lake in the 15 is going to get held up there with Bartow and Davidson, Wyatt Quayle, Tristan Allen, and Bartow's going to make a good decision and cut down to the inside. Shane Lake's going to make it 3 wide, but he has nowhere to go. And how about Joshua Rush in the 98 moving his way in this inside lane? And you got to keep in mind, we're closing in on the end of this race right here. Lap 24 of 32. The point of no return in this race is going to be lap number 28. If we get a caution on lap 28, we will not be able to go back to racing. Joshua Rush is going to join this pack here, and the number 98 is Shane Lake's going to fall behind. And now for Shane Lake, obviously you want to get the win and have that points lead heading into Darlington, but either way, you cannot risk getting wrecked out in this race and not even having a shot to begin with heading into Darlington next weekend. Nathan Baird 2 laps down. It's been a disaster for Baird here in this race, but Baird may still leave this race the points leader, albeit it might be just a couple of points. It's going to be very interesting to see how it all goes down. Ace Garcia, Gatlin, Downey now side by side for the race lead. It's Garcia, Downey, Allen, Quayle, Bartow, Rush, and it looks like Dale Lightning has actually joined this pack. I think he just lost the draft. He's a lap down, but I think he's just as fast as our race leader. So now, what does Shane Lake do? How does he get back to the front in this race?
I think he just waits for the next lapper. I mean, we're going to run into another one before this is out, so you see what happens then, you evaluate the situation, might string out the back a little bit, and you just pick your way through. I mean, it's easier said than done, obviously, but I mean, there's a lot that's going to happen that's out of his control right now, so he doesn't need to worry about what he's doing, just stay in the back.
We'll just have to see. Shane Lake kind of actually drop behind a little bit. He's going to try to get a run here on the inside of these guys, but now the Hamill Racing Enterprises drivers of Gatlin, Downey, and Ace Garcia kind of gridlocking the field, but Tristan Allen's not going to let him have that for too long. And I think Tristan Allen might have a little bit of help here out of Trey Bartow in the number 4 machine. 3 wide to the inside for the race lead on lap 27 of 32 in the Valvoline 400. Tristan Allen going to take it away from Ace Garcia and Gatlin Downey. A huge run in the inside lane and help from Trey Bartow. And it's a big thing for Bartow, too. Obviously, I think from Bartow's standpoint, I think he would almost rather have Tristan win. But from Bartow's standpoint, this is his penultimate race of his career, and he wants one more victory. But then you got Mark Davidson, who's, if he wins, he's going to have a shot at the championship. Shane Lake, he wants number 5. All these guys want this race victory. The big question is, who is going to get it? There goes Tristan Allen to the race lead with 5 laps to go in the Valvoline 400 here at Daytona. Kukalon and LJ Semedo are just too far behind, and the second pack is too far behind as well. But the big question is, when will they close back in on Nathan Baird? Will they close back in on Nathan Baird before the end of this race is a big question, because he is still about a half a racetrack ahead of these guys here at Daytona. Tristan Allen in the outside lane with Gatlin Downey. A huge push on the outside. That 06 has been strong all night long. I just have a feeling he has one of the strongest cars on the racetrack. And if we get 4 wide here, that could do it. Bartow, Ace Garcia, are they going to wreck off a turn 4? They will not. They're going to keep it together. And Ace Garcia going to shoot the middle, try to get to Tristan Allen, who continues to lead with 4 laps to go in the Valvoline 400. Trey Bartow in the 4 machine, looking to the inside. He's going to file back behind Ace Garcia. And Shane Lake has not been able to move his way up. But Shane Lake is going to gain about, if I can say, about 30 points, which will put him about 10 points behind heading into Darlington, which would easily give him an opportunity at the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Championship. Tristan Allen continuing to lead here at Daytona, coming to 4 laps to go in the Valvoline 400. Ace Garcia to the inside. Actually, we're coming to 3 laps to go. Excuse me. Garcia and Downey keep on battling for second. Allen holding these guys off. 3 to go at Daytona in the Valvoline 400.
And one thing that was made clear to me earlier, Trey Bartow and Tristan Allen, they were behind the pack and they got up there by themselves. They didn't require a lap car. Those two have power. And Ace Garcia, we saw him make that bonsai 3-wide move there out turn 4 whenever the pack was super strung out. He also has power, so he's going to try and get to the inside of Allen, but right now I'm really liking the chance of that 4 car as well as the 06.
I think the big underlying factor of this race is going to be Nathan Baird. They're going to run into him before the end of this thing. And it's all going to come down to where does Tristan Allen go on the racetrack when they run into him. Ace Garcia, Trey Bartow right behind on the inside have not been able to get anything on that inside lane. Downey's going to try on the outside here of Tristan Allen. Allen had to slow down. He had to slow down as he almost got into Nathan Baird. There goes Ace Garcia around in the 81. Oh boy, Bartow's going to be second now in the number 4. Downey's going to get to the inside of Allen, and that's going to change the entire complexion of this race. Will it catch in to Chase Harris before the end of this one? It's far from over. They strung out way too much, and that 06 has a lot of power. So does Bartow in the 4. Next time by, it's the white flag here in the Valvoline 400. There goes Trey Bartow to the inside for the race lead on Ace Garcia. Gatlin Downey, Tristan Allen, Wyatt Quayle, all single file still in contention. They're going to close in on Chase Harris on this final lap. Where does Harris go, and where do these guys run into him? White flag for Trey Bartow in the Valvoline 400 at Daytona. Gatlin Downey moving to the inside for the race lead. Wyatt Quayle is there as well, but Bartow on the outside lane. We'll have to see who gets the advantage down the backstretch. Downey with a huge head of steam on the inside lane. Here comes Wyatt Quayle as well on the 39. Joshua Rush in the 98. Downey and Quayle in the top 2 positions. They're closing in on Chase Harris. Here's Shane Lake in the 15. There goes Downey to the inside. And I think this is going to go to the 22. Gatlin Downey's going to hold him off and get the race victory in the Valvoline 400. Gatlin Downey wins at Daytona. Wow. What on earth? It came down the lap traffic. That's just what it is every time here at Daytona. Trey Bartow had a shot. Ace Garcia had a shot. But in the end, it's Gatlin Downey, who's 13th in points, the best driver who did not make the chase, grabbing his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory here tonight in the Valvoline 400. Shane Lake finished 3rd, also led a lap. And Nathan Baird finished in the 39th position. Shane Lake is going to gain 37 points on Nathan Baird, meaning that we are going to have a 4-point battle between Baird and Shane Lake heading into the finale race at Darlington next weekend. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was incredible. The way that race ended in those final 2 laps, you got the lap Nathan Baird, so he gets in the way, so the whole package strung out. At that point, it's almost a game of slingshot. It's almost like what you see in the Indy 500 sometimes. The draft was incredible in favor of Trey Bartow. He shoots in front of the 81, but then he's out in front, so he loses all the draft out ahead of him, and a 22 just comes with this ridiculous run, and he just takes him 3 wide and goes for a win. Gets out in front, he's able to win the race. That was just insane. The way that race ended, I cannot believe it just happened here at Daytona.
And I gotta say this, I feel so bad for Tristan Allen in this.
Oh yeah.
It gets infuriating at a point. I mean, I'm infuriated because of how many times I tried to record this stupid race. But still, I mean, Tristan Allen, he got screwed. He just got screwed over by that 16 and Nathan Baird. That's just all there is to it. And that 06 is not going to be happy with Baird. There are going to be a lot of guys in this race who are not going to be happy with Nathan Baird, which is in return going to make it a lot harder for Nathan Baird to hold off Shane Lake next weekend at Darlington, because he's going to have a target on his back next weekend, especially from Tristan Allen and a lot of these other guys who were in this lead pack. On top of that, he lost his points lead, essentially. It's only 4 points now between Baird and Shane Lake. And you gotta think, Shane Lake, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the final 3 races. If it keeps that streak up and finishes 4th tomorrow, I think, or should I say next weekend, I should say, odds are he's gonna win the championship here. But unreal race here at Daytona. I don't know what to say, But Gatlin Downey, I kind of feel like he was a dark horse that whole way through there. Comes home with a race victory. Derek Hamill gets an owner's win in his home racetrack. How about that for Derek Hamill? Keeps on winning races as an owner. Wyatt Quayle, Shane Lake, Trey Bartow, Ace Garcia, Joshua Rush, Tristan Allen, Mark Davidson, Reagan Whitlock, and Sebastian Kukalon, the top 10. And another guy I actually failed to mention, Alexander Rose, also going to have a shot at the championship next weekend. He finished 12th here tonight. We obviously saw the issues with Ryan Durrani. Durrani's going to be out of contention. Silas Orta, this is an interesting one. Orta is going to gain, he finished 23rd. He's going to gain 16 points on Nathan Baird in this race, which means, if I can do the math correctly, 53 minus 16, that is 37 points between Silas Orta and Nathan Baird, which means that even Orta has a mathematical shot. We're going to be going into Darlington with 4 drivers with a mathematical shot at winning the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Championship. The first time since Season 6 that the finale race will actually decide the champion. It's been clinched the past 2 seasons a race early. Not going to be the case this year after that colossal failure out of Nathan Baird early on in the race, and it really wasn't even his fault either. It's the nature of Daytona, and it's going to give Shane Lake a huge opportunity at this Chick-fil-A Cup Series Championship. What a wild race here. Final thoughts on this one here at Daytona, Luke?
Oh, I mean, you get an early wreck in the lap traffic. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, Daytona and lap cars, they almost go together like peas in a pod. I mean, it's just the nature of the way we do it at super speedway racing. The wreck happens on lap 2, and we knew it was going to be an issue, especially with Nathan Baird. And even for Nathan Baird, I mean, he's running out there trying to get those extra points. For himself, he got nothing, and he actually kind of hurt himself. He separated that pack, and next thing you know, you get Shane Lake inside the top 7. Shane Lake, place finish. I mean, this is somewhat self-inflicted for Nathan Baird. The championship fight is really going to come down to the wire, and part of it is because of the way the 16 handled that race.
Yeah, but, and trying to come to defense of Nathan Baird is hard, but, like, he did gain 2 points out of doing that. If he actually just, called it a night after that wreck, he probably would have finished 42nd, and that means that Shane Lake would have been 1 point behind. And those 3 points, those could mean the championship next weekend heading into Darlington in the Southern 500. So, we could be sitting here next Sunday, noon Eastern time, and Nathan Baird could have won this championship by 2 points. And him staying on in this race is what would have won him that championship. But let me tell you, with what we've seen of Shane Lake this season, I've not seen any driver drive like he has in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series ever. And keep in mind, this is an offline league. He has no control over it, but it's just amazing what he's been able to do here. I think at one point, he was like 80-some points behind Nathan Baird in this chase, and then boom, boom, boom. Top 5 finishes, 3 weeks in a row, a win, 2nd and 3rd. Like I said, if that streak keeps up and he just finishes 4th next weekend at Darlington, he'll probably win the championship. But it's far from over here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. You will definitely not want to miss the Mellow Yellow Southern 500 from Darlington next Sunday at noon Eastern Time right here on Napa Fam. Luke, what are your predictions on that race next weekend? Do you think Shane Lake's going to get it, or do you think Nathan Baird is some way going to hold on to this championship?
Well, it essentially comes down to whichever one beats the other. Obviously, Shane Lake has to do a little bit of extra work, and if Baird finishes right behind Lake, and Lake does not win the championship, but it's definitely between those two. I think Orta, he's so far out of it, it's going to take a lot for him. I'm going to say Shane Lake. I mean, he's got the momentum to win this championship right now with these top 5s. Nothing's going against him at this moment.
We'll just have to see. Next Sunday at noon Eastern Time, Mellow Yellow Southern 500, the championship race in the Chick-fil-A Cup. There's 74 laps at Darlington, too, so bit of a long race over there in Darlington, South Carolina, but it's going to be a great one to cap off one heck of a season here. I mean, this season, I don't think I've had this much fun doing a Chick-fil-A Cup Series season since season number 5. Obviously, season 5, one of my favorite seasons of this series. This is topping it, possibly, and obviously, huge thank you to all you guys for just keeping up with it and watching it. It means so much to me. Obviously, when the pandemic happened, it hit me a little bit, but then I came back, and I gotta tell you, this has really helped me get through all that's going on in the world, and hopefully it has helped you as well. Either way, congratulations to Gatlin Downey, your race winner here at Daytona, and we will see you guys next weekend for the Mellow Yellow Southern 500 at Darlington. Tomorrow night, we got ourselves the Emerson Electric 100K in the Haas IndyCar Series, and And see how that goes. Got a tight championship battle over there as well. On behalf of Luke Rainey, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Here are the points for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series heading into the finale race.